Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and we set out to this beautiful forest of Hazlewood near Sligo to find a tree to gain benefit in our life by attuning to the energy of a tree. And we didn't know which tree we would be looking for. And funnily enough, as I was walking along the path through the forest, the words Gog and Magog came into my mind, and they are the names of the very ancient oaks at the foot of Glastonbury Tor. And I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to find an oak? Well, as you've just seen, we did find an oak, and so I started by being at a distance of 5 or 6 yards from the oak and attuning to the energy surrounding the oak before moving actually up to it. And so, well, the first thing I noticed is that ivy is growing up around the oak, trunks of ivy, no leaves at this bottom end, just the trunks. And what came to me is, first of all, that the oak is immeasurably strong, and this one very ancient, and strength is so needed. And what the ivy growing up around the oak tree said was that you need a core of great strength in your life, and then other things can develop around that. And so you can have a bigger life if you have the central strength. And I thought, as I looked at the oak tree, what an energy of ancientness. And in a sense, it's like an ancestral energy. And then what came into my mind, well, I have no connection to my ancestry. It's there, but I was severed from it. But it is there, and so I'm prompted to think, well, I can draw on my ancestry because I've seen this oak. And so on my mother's side, I think of the generations who lived right next to the sea in Connemara, living by farming and fishing. Indeed, before that, they were on the island nearby. So there's strength, there's ancestry. And on my father's side, again, living on a shoreline, a little farm on the shore of the Baltic near Danzig. And before that, his father and grandfather working on ships on the Baltic. And before that, a Yakut tribes settlement at the end of the 19th century on the North Polar Sea. So those are my ancestries. And this oak has shown me that I have like these huge trunks, these strong tree trunks of ancestral energy. And the thoughts just come to me, can I pass it on to my son, to others? And in a moment I'm going to go closer to the tree and eventually to, put my hands and forehead and feet against it. I was so overjoyed to find an oak. I didn't expect it. It's the first oak I've seen walking through this forest. You know, we saw many other trees. They're all native indigenous trees, almost, you know, over 90% of the trees here. Thank goodness. You know, because so much of Ireland has been planted by the imported conifers, you know, for logging. But Hazlewood is not. And that's a joy. And of course, we connect to the poetic inspiration of W.B. Yeats, who loved Hazlewood and wrote some of his most visionary poems here in Hazlewood and on the lake shore just behind. So the vastness of the oak and the way it you know, it doesn't grow straight up, but it sort of curves and bends responding to the pressures on it from the wind and other trees, and yet it strongly grows upwards and upwards. And there's a message in my life to connect to this strength and to grow upwards so that I, like the tree, get above the surrounding forest or surrounding consciousness and embody the mystical, intuitive, quite decisive spark that I have of creativity and perception to rise above the lower consciousness that completely dug its claws into me as I was little, but now to look upwards to the upper branches of this immeasurably strong oak. So this is the end of video 1, and I'm now going to move closer for video 2 of my experiences of the magic of the oak. Thank you. So now I've moved close to the oak, and I've taken my shoes off. So the roots of the oak are running under my feet. Roots. Well, I get the feeling the roots of this oak must be massive, stretching for many, many feet. And is the energy from the roots coming through the soles of my feet, because my skin is touching the roots? I mean, I definitely see like a huge black void now behind this oak tree, and feel its energy like inside my body, inhabiting my body from toe to crown. So I'm glad I did this, and I must try now and get like a clear appearance of what I see, this black background and the tree, you know, vibrant with energy, energies inside it, and an energy field, layers of light around it. So now I'm going to move forward and put the palms of my hands and my forehead against the tree. There's no rush with oak. The scent of the oak bark has an effect. Beautiful to breathe in. Well, what I've seen now is like a round hut. I have seen it, I can't say. So a circle of tree trunks and a pointed roof. Why has the oak taken me to a round hut? And I now see that the round hut is on a crannog, like an island village, that the Irish used certainly into the Iron Age, but back to the Neolithic. Is this again ancestry? The aroma of the oak bark is much stronger than I expected. It's beautiful. There's a beauty in it. And now I've seen the salmon. Was salmon fishing done from the round hut? How does the oak tie into it? Is it because the oak is ancestry? Or were oak saplings used in the construction of the round hut? And I've seen a fire, a circular fire site of stones, and the fire burning in the circle, and a cooking pot above. And I've seen myself there. I'd say quite strong and young, maybe 18. And in the dark space of the round hut, around the inside of a wooden wall, a circular wooden wall, I see family. And I feel like a lot of strength in my body, being more in my body than I certainly got from my 20th century childhood upbringing. And I have a spear, and I see a smoke hole at the top of the pointed roof. So what's all this about? Does it tell me? I feel it tells me I can draw on my ancient Irish ancestry in this case, and on the strengths that their way of life allowed, and the connection with the trees, and the oak embodies ancestral, ancient, strong connection. And it's a source of strength. It's so different from the 21st century I'm now in, the way of life of the 21st century. And so it's good to be able to sense the state of body and mind of the ancestor or the previous life in this round hut. Because of journeying back through the strong ancestry offered by oak. And of course I've now sensed acorns. The oak will produce acorns. We're at the beginning of the summer now, but the oak produces acorns. Acorns of wisdom. Acorns of nourishment. And the sky above is beautiful. And the lake nearby is beautiful. The mountains are at the other side of the lake. So I'm thinking I should now end this connection with the oak, and I want to thank the oak for what the oak has given me, which I didn't expect at all. Completely out of what I didn't expect. And so I thank the oak and end this journey.